Hi everybody, welcome to January 20th to January 26th of 2020. We're going to be pulling general messages for all the signs, but we're going to front load with astrology like I did last time. I'm going to timestamp below in the description box. If you're not interested in this part, I'm going to go through a couple of transits that are happening in the sky, and then I'm going to pull a couple of astrology tarot cards, the Black Moon Tarot, for the general messages, and then I'm going to get into each of the signs. Okay, so starting on the 20th, we have the sun entering Aquarius, guys, at 9:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just apply that time to wherever you are on the planet. So the sun's going to be in Aquarius from the 20th of January to the 18th of February. And during this cycle, we're going to be especially motivated by a hunger for knowledge. Knowledge, experience, originality, something different, innovation, doing things outside of the box, that box that we normally function in. It's just more important to us than doing things as we have been, or maybe how we should be, because it is Aquarius. It's really out of the box, right? We are becoming more aware in this energy of what's outdated in our lives, and we'll be pushing to find new perspectives and new approaches to ways of doing things. To just structure, think about the structure that we've been feeling, right? Under Capricorn, right? It's been like very structure. There are like class distinctions. There's a sense of order that Capricorn finds really appealing, and that we really needed, right, to get this ball rolling, but now seems to be a bit too rigid to all of us. So the freedom of self and the individual is becoming really more important to all of us right now. And we're all feeling it in different areas. I did mention the houses that we're all going to be, and I've mentioned the houses in a couple of videos now at this point, that we're all going to be working through this year. So think about what I'm saying in relation to whatever house it is, right? So if you're Cancer, everything that I'm saying, you're going to be thinking about how to do relationships differently. If you're Virgo in your fifth house, you're going to be thinking about your hobbies and things that you do for fun differently. And you're going to be looking at your relationship with your children differently, right? It depends on, where this is placed. Okay. And I'm just going to keep talking about it probably for the rest of the year. So, but it's really about us striving to free ourselves from some restrictions and inhibitions and limitations that just feel really, really constraining rather than safe. Because for a minute it felt safe, but now it's not safe anymore, And then on the 24th, we have the new moon. New moon in Aquarius, 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the new moon in Aquarius marks the beginning of a new cycle for sure. The Capricorn new moon cycle ends, and this new moon cycle begins. And in Aquarius, it's friendship, group activities, socials pursuit, any sort of group gatherings, projects, trying something new, joining a new group, any sort of humanitarian effort actually even falls under this, but all of these things are going to be more of a focus than they have been. So there are new beginnings regarding any of these areas, right? Just really getting out there and getting involved in stuff. And this is a time during which we should solve problems that require thinking outside of the boxes, as I've been talking about. Really look to the future with a brand new positive and hopeful vision. Brainstorm, socialize, just focus on how things are going to be just moving forward, and expressing platonic love for those around us, and giving our emotions and our passions a break as we develop more objectivity and some detachment from past hurts and past haunts, and just connecting with friends, guys. Like seriously, if you don't have friends, then it could be your family, it could be your colleagues, but it's really embracing, friends, family, neighbors, any group activity, anything like that really can be focused on here in such a beautiful way, right? So reaching out to people in your social circle, reaching out to your tribe, and just like recognizing here the value of those friendships and those networks. And also, though, recognize at some level, guys, these people are kind of like your ticket out of, I'm going to call it stage one. I'm going to call January stage one. It's month one, it's stage one of this new shift into this new life, into this new cycle. And I know we've all been feeling it. Oh my gosh, right? It's been big. It's been big. Obviously, depending on where it's hitting you, it's going to be a little more ground shaking than for others, but you definitely want to be looking at your rising sign for this one, guys, for sure. Absolutely. All right. But these friends and family members and our group are going to be helping us to be able to have a sense of detachment from whatever is challenging us to break away from, because there is this breaking away, right, with Saturn and this transformation with Pluto. So we're really going to be needing to rely on our friends, our family, our hobbies, other activities to pivot our thoughts and our attentions to just give us a breather so we can start to heal and move. It's stage one. It's stage one. And with this potent Aquarius energy, we have the chance to make progressive changes in our lives. For some of us, circumstances are such that we need to pay more attention to these matters rather than divert our attention. It does depend on the placement. Now, this phase of the moon is going to be happening at 4 degrees and 22 minutes of Aquarius, affecting people born with personal planets and points at approximately 0 to 8 degrees of the fixed sign. So that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius most significantly. We're all going to be feeling it, but those 4 signs and those degrees are going to be feeling it really much more profoundly, okay, than anyone else. So let's pull a couple of Black Moon Tarot to get a collective message of what we have as we enter this last part. I'm calling it the last part of phase 1 here. 3rd house, okay. It's about communication, messages. This has to do with Mercury, right? So especially like Gemini and Virgo. Saturn, well, of course. Oh, Saturn, I don't know. Getting a little tired of you now. And it just started. Okay, so we have Saturn and we have 3rd house messages, okay? So the 3rd house messages, again, anything mercurial. So this is how you think, feel, write, communicate, anything like that. This is you needing to look at how you're communicating, assess if you're communicating effectively enough, if you are not being too harsh, if you need to change things up in the way you communicate. Now, the fact that we got the 3rd house with Saturn says that you're going to be getting in touch here in this 3rd house energy with something that's very old and outdated. Saturn does that anyway, but you're going to be getting messages, synchronistic messages coming into your life that's really going to be highlighting what really needs to go, what like literally has become like necrotic. Do you know what I mean? Like dying skin. I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of like that in a way. It takes a long time to happen, but when it happens, it just starts to like fall off, right? So this is what's really happening here. And Saturn with the truth, I mean, this says it might feel bad now, but it's going to be resolved. Saturn's the planet, it's the planet of the Reaper, the Lord of Karma. And this, it's a rainbow planet, represents what's tangible and solid in our lives. The Greeks called Saturn Kronos. So a lot of you guys might have heard Kronos and Saturn being used interchangeably. So we could thank the Greeks for that. And Kronos was the father of Zeus. And Kronos devoured his children to prevent losing his throne as the king of the gods. So Saturn in astrology is often referred to as the god who ate his own children. Isn't that lovely, right? Because of the energy of this planet seems to show no mercy. But Saturn is not exactly cruelty. It simply points out what's true and cuts away what's delusional or no longer useful in our life. So, this is definitely a time where you're going to feel challenged. We're all feeling it anyway. This is like, I'm like preaching to the choir here. You guys all know this. But it's time to make it or break it, guys, for real. I mean, the fact that this came up is important. Life may seem harsh and very restrictive right now. The truth of the matter is you're facing an enemy who may be yourself right now. And Saturn shows us that at times it's in our better interest, not to have those things we want. And that if we were to have them, it could only ultimately lead to our destruction. And that really is so true. So if this is a time for any of you where you're feeling sad, or if you're feeling hopeless, realize that it's all about the diligence and sticking to what you believe in, adhering to your goals, to what you know is right. As this is a period in your life that emphasizing toughness and work is really important. It's all about not giving up and following through, and there's so much goodness on the other side of this. So much good. So we're going to be looking at stuff that's got to go. Yep, that's what we have, and that is the astrology section, guys. Let's pull some cards. Hi, Leo. I hope you guys are doing great today. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Let's get right into this. This is going to be a general message for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for January 20th to January 26th of 2020. Guys, these are general messages. If they don't fit, please try not to make them, right? There are so many people that we address here on this platform, and there's no way that we can all make them 100% personal readings, right? Each and every time. You definitely want to try to check your rising sign, moon sign, and Venus for the most complete set of messages for you, okay? And if you do that, just know that I did front load the same astrology in the front of all of them, so you don't need to. You could fast forward that 10 minute and 35 past that when you're watching your other signs for sure, right? Okay, so let's see what Wisdom of the Oracle crowning we have for you. Regeneration, very nice. This is nice, okay. Well, I mean, it's exact. I mean, is this not what we're going through? Of course, with Pluto here, you know. But this really pushes you to ask what happens when it appears in your life that you failed at something. You know, really ask yourself that. Do you see the beauty in the lesson or the understanding that arises from difficulties? Because it's like a seed that lies dormant for a long time, and then once it germinates in your subconscious, it pushes through into your awareness. And it becomes, it's really, this energy tells me it's becoming apparent that there's a new you, a new start here. A more powerful version and form of what you began to plant in the garden of your imagination has really begun to surface now, which is really awesome. You're very ripe for success, Leo. You really are. New opportunities, much better than those that came before, appear just like gifts from spirit. And now is one of those times when out of seeming loss and failure comes something remarkably abundant. So really try your very best to not dwell on anything from the past here, because you're really experiencing a rebirth. Because, you know, endings come in many forms, right? So now is the time to stop holding on to what has to die so that something better can take its place. You know, nature cycles include like a lot of things, right? A lot of things that aren't so good. We have so much beauty, but then we have some things that are just really not so great, like death and disease, right? All of these things, right? But regeneration is right in there with it, because something has to die in order to be reborn. So let whatever isn't working in your life die. Don't be afraid to face the facts, because there's no need to struggle or grieve here. So whatever you're coming to this reading with on your heart, whether it's a job, a relationship, a family connection, a friendship connection, just don't worry, because you are about to be reborn in this area of your greatest concern, okay? So this is really, really positive. It doesn't mean it's comfortable, but it's definitely positive, okay? So I did already shuffle these. I'm just going to be cutting. Let me just move these here. And we're going to pull a Celtic cross spread for you in this read, and then at the end we're going to do a little bit of an extended read for love, right? Because a lot of you guys have asked me to spend a little bit more time on the love section, which is fine. I'm happy to do that for you. So let's pull the Celtic cross. Let me pull the cards, and then we'll talk about what they each mean. Okay, so we have the Eight of Air right now, Leo, the Eight of Swords. So I am getting that many of you, if you're resonating with this, are in a space of having a little bit of a challenge right now. This is your Jupiter and Gemini energy. So it's like you want to expand. The information is coming at you in the way that you want to expand, but you're feeling the sense of distress. You're feeling this sense of imprisonment, self-imprisonment, and you're having a really hard time getting out of your own way, right? Trying to really figure out what it is that's necessary, what's being communicated to you through your subconscious that you need to do in order to bring yourself to a space of expansion. And it's really trying to reason out what's going on with the relationship in your life, with your job, with the connection. You're just trying to put all the pieces together. And you're being crossed here by the Emperor reverse, which is the energy of the narcissistic archetype. It doesn't mean this person is and has narcissistic personality disorder, but there is a level of disrespect that's crossing you. So that could be anything from, if you're in a relationship, someone being disrespectful in that there may be cheating on you, or maybe being very irresponsible with money, or in some way betraying you. Okay, if it has to do with somebody at work, this could have to do with having a very narcissistic boss, somebody who sort of walks over you, sees through you, doesn't value you, doesn't value your work, forgets that you have a heartbeat, you know. But this is crossing you. Six of Air is the Six of Swords. Crowning is a moving away. There's a moving away here. Six of Swords energy, this is a Mercury in Aquarius. So this is you communicating with yourself. This is very introspective. You saying, you know what, I gotta do things differently now. Because that's Aquarius. I got to change it, or I got to do things differently right now. And this can be pretty sudden, right? Because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is all about, boom, here we go. Let's go, let's go. Even if it's only mentally. Because the thing is, if you're in this job, or if you're in a situation, in a relationship, and things go south, it doesn't mean that you can leave like that. That's illogical. Sometimes people can, sometimes you can't. Many things depend on that, right? But this tells me that you are at least moving away mentally and emotionally if you can't physically yet, and you're going to be planning, and you need to do that planning. So that's what I'm feeling there as the crowning. And you see, I have to tell you, Leo, I'm feeling very proud of you right now, if you're resonating with this, because there's a sense of saying, all right, you know what, I got to distance myself from this toxicity. This is not a healthy energy for me to be near. I can't leave right now, or maybe I can leave right now, or whatever. But whatever it is, however you're leaving, we have the Moon reverse. And I love this card. Because, you know, those of you who've been watching me know I have a very Jungian approach to the moon energy. And when it comes to tarot, and Carl Jung is a famous psychologist and philosopher, and I studied him very extensively, and he had a beautiful take on the occult and whatever, but that's for another video. But this is about you getting in touch with the deepest recess of your soul in a way. I'm not going to say that it was a part of yourself that you never wanted to look at before, but that you never even realized was there, kind of thing, and you getting front and center with it. Because in the upright, it might be bothering you, but you really can't access it. You're trying to dig deep, and you're trying to grow with the best intentions, but it's hard for you to do. The Moon reverse, it indicates that, yeah, you know what, you're doing it. You're being super honest with yourself, and you're growing exponentially during this energy. And I really like this. This is what we want to be doing and what we want to be pulling out for 2020. Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, if this has to, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be really evaluating your daily routines this year, your health routines this year, your job, what you do on your day-to-day. Right? So a lot of you guys are going to be changing career paths or changing places that into a job that ends up making more sense in your life, in your everyday, and resonating with you greater, right? So that's just part of this eclipse season that we have going on, and that's how it's going to be impacting you. But it could certainly have to do with relationships, because relationships, who you have, the people who you have in your life, in your everyday. So everything that happens in your everyday is going to be kind of getting this tweak and revamp throughout. We had the 10 of Earth, which is the 10 of Pentacles in your past. So this is about coming from a space of having, like you were in a space, like let's say you were resonating with this with a relationship. You were in a relationship where as a couple, you guys had money, you were very comfortable. And you had it all, you thought. You had the house, you had the kids, you had the money, you had this, except there was something missing, at least for one of you. And it just ended up not working out very well. I mean, if this is the past, this Emperor reverse can be somebody stepping out on somebody, so to speak, or somebody just not doing the right thing. If that's one possibility. Another possibility is if this has to do with career, you being in a job where like you were making really good money, you really were, you know, and you had, your heart was in it, but then you had to deal with this Emperor reverse energy, you know, which ended up really like throwing you into a bit of a tailspin, honestly. Because that's the card of self-imprisonment. And then there's the moving away and really thinking about things. Now here, you're the Two of Earth in reverse. So the Two of Earth, this is the Two of Pentacles energy. Okay, so this is a Jupiter in Capricorn, and this is you in reverse. So this is you feeling like you're not going to be able to be successful. You're not going to be able to feel happy. You're very confused, and you're afraid to actually pull the trigger and to move something forward, to cut that final thing, to make a final decision. It's like a little bit of an analysis paralysis vibe here, but it's you feeling disrespected. I mean, there's a definitive disrespect. There's a lack of connection. There's a lack of support. There just is in your life right now. And this is the external influence. Now, this is not you. This is something external to you. And when I see the Strength card like this as an external influence, I'm understanding this as ego. Somebody's, because the low vibe of this is an ego. This could be you guys being inflected by some sort of unhealthy ego. Somebody who's just trying to be very overbearing on you, again, because this is an external influence, and it's creating this space inside of you where you just can't make a decision. It's like okay, now what? Like, I'm not sure I could actually do this kind of energy. Your fear is the Queen of Fire. It's the Queen of Wands. So, I mean, this is a Pisces and Aries energy, and this is your fear. You might be dealing with a Pisces or an Aries, right? But this is about, you know, just think about Pisces is ruled by Neptune, right? And, you know, is this just a very, you're dreaming about a new start. You're just dreaming about being passionate, and you're just so scared that it's not going to happen. It's like in your mind's eye, you see yourself someplace other than how you are. Right? Because Aries is the baby of the zodiac. Aries is like, you know, the first one. This is the baby. We call Aries, you know, the infant, the child. So whenever we have that in tarot, it's always the indication of a new cycle. And with the Pisces, with the Neptune, it's like that delicious, dreamy energy. And you're just like dreaming, but you're almost afraid to dream because we have this Page of Fire as the outcome, and this is you just feeling very dispassionate about continuing on this cycle with this job, with this person, whatever situation this is. You're just not feeling the passion and the gumption to do it. And the real reason is, I mean, we have as the final outcome, justice is reversed. This is just not a fair situation to you. This is not fair. I mean, I'm not even going to try to put any sort of like deep introspective spin on it. Straight up, it's not fair. Justice in reverse. It's it. It's like, it's not good. It's not good. Page of Fire. Somebody's being manipulative, trying to get their way. With this pushy vibe about this. Pushy vibe. But I kind of feel like you're just like, you know what? Like, it's almost like you're letting them talk. I don't even know. Can it? Yeah. Yeah, I need more energies here because we have this regeneration as the crowning, and I can understand what's ending, but let's get some information on what's regenerating here, please. Nine of Water reverse, Two of Fire reverse, Star reverse, Five of Water, Messenger of Fire, Ten of Water reverse. Yeah. You're revolving away from somebody. I mean, this is Nine of Cups is about, you know, reaching your wish fulfillment. That's in reverse. So this is not happening. And these energies are all because somebody's getting in your way. So the Two of Wands, you don't see a new cycle happening as far as moving forward with this person. You don't see there being healing here. The Five of Cups is feeling very focused on the pain at the moment. The Messenger of Fire is these things are going to be coming in very serendipitously, fast, very passionately to really highlight inside of you what's missing. And you're going to be feeling this big time because this is a strong energy, this Messenger of Fire. And you're going to be realizing that this person, you are just not going to have your Ten of Cups energy. And this Ten of Cups energy is always reversed because of an external situation to the two of you. So this could be a third party. This could be an issue within the family, something going on at work. But you just feeling like, you know what? This is just not for me. This is not for me. At the end of the day, I can't be in this. I can't leave you hanging, Leo. I can't leave you hanging. I can't. Let's pull some cards across, please, for Leo. Let's give them some direction here. You said regeneration, Spirit, or down with that. We see what they're leaving, or what they're trying to leave, or what they should be leaving. Mm-hmm. By the way, I don't mind the reversals. It just highlights what we need to pay attention to. We have free will. You can turn it upside down. So the Three of Fire. All right, so right now you're in the space, and I love that the most positive card in the deck, the most powerful card in the deck, is the only one upright. This is absolutely hilarious to me. I'm sorry. That's amazing. You got the World. I mean, really, who cares after that? This is just showing me everything that this is like an onion that I feel like you don't see yourself moving forward in this cycle with them. You're turning your back on them. There has been irresponsible partying, irresponsible behavior involved in this. You absolutely lost your patience with them. You've identified that you weren't going to have any growth with them at all. You went into a mode of self-protection big time. You realized you were just not willing to take that chance, that calculated risk with them. And you're coming out of, and this is more positive in the reverse, the Nine of Air, you are coming out of that state of self-imprisonment. So you're revolving out of it. You're revolving out. Yep, and you're walking away. You're walking away even though you have a heavy heart. You're having a hard time cutting some sort of string once and for all. Once and for all. A call. There is a message coming in that's really going to really call for you to get front and center with what it is that you really want. You're going to have a little bit of a hard time with that. You really are. Let's pull the rest of these. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Leo, I just feel like there's a lot going on for you here. You're doing a lot of changing. This call is coming in. It's something, it's serendipitous. It's divinely driven. There is something about this that you're not heeding. You're not listening to it. You're missing something about this negative energy. Spirit is trying to send you very good, solid messages that you're ignoring. You're giving in to some sort of temptation here. And this is ending a cycle. The cycle is ending, which is good. But then we have the Two of Cups energy in the reverse, which indicates your first of all, the Two of Cups reverse does indicate it is another cheater energy. The Hangman reverse is reflecting on the past in a much better light than it should be. Okay, and if you go back to that, you're going to end up being more the victim than the victor, but you're feeling so much pain because of the ending of this thing. It's almost unbearable for you, and you just can't imagine having a new beginning. I'm not liking this message for you. I'm so sorry, and I'm going to pull another spread. I'm pulling another spread. You guys are the last sign I'm doing, and the only sign that I'm doing this for. And only because this is like, I'm feeling like some heavy energy here. Heavy energy. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Heavy energy here, my friends. I just am. Guys, and seriously, like, if this is not your reading, please don't try to make it fit. This is not a message that you want to try to make it fit. This is a very spiritual message, because I feel like Spirit is trying to pull you, Leo. Come on, let's go this way. Come on, let's come down this path. And you're like, I know I have to go. I know I have to let go. I'm letting go. I'm letting go. And you start walking down the path and you're like, no, 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 I can't go. I can't go. And you end up going back that way. And you're vacillating. And you're not going to be able to regenerate. Move, move. Yes, you got to really leave, really leave. Really leave. Yes. Okay. Nice. Okay. Good. All right. You're going to leave. This is going to be a good thing for you, because you're going to be in a space of recognizing what you need in a relationship and what healthy is for you, because you're realizing that you cannot build with this person and you are ready to build with somebody. You are ready for an Ace of Pentacles energy. This is something brand new coming in. So guys, this is definitely like a new relationship. This is a new job, right? There's a newness here. There's a newness. Then we have the Nine of Cups, which is like you feeling like this is not going to be your wish fulfillment. I feel like, though, this is because your energy is not fully out of what it is that you were in. Then we have the Magician. And the Magician is an alchemical card. It's really making things happen. I mean, the Magician is all about Mercury and communication and movement and moving things forward. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the Wheel of Fate. And I just get this idea that you're just not wanting to let go of something. It's like you keep trying to go. You keep trying to go and something keeps pulling you back. Because something just keeps pulling you back. Okay. All right. I mean, this is good. The truth comes out. Queen of Swords reverse. A truth is coming out. It's coming out. You are going to find your strength. And even though you feel very disheartened and very disillusioned, there is this idea of letting go. There is an idea of letting go with the Five of Cups. You know. So, I mean, this is very... yeah, I mean, this was a very heavy, this is a Mars and Scorpio, okay? So let's just put it in context. You know, Mars is a very fiery planet. Scorpio is ruled by who? Pluto. What is Pluto? The planet of what? Transformation. Pluto is the planet of transformation and regeneration. Scorpio is the sign that represents regeneration, and that's exactly what you have here. And you needed to go through this in order to rebuild. So I feel like the energies are going to be a little cyclical for you for a bit, Leo. I feel like you're going to do this tango, this hamster wheel for a bit. You're going to need to do it. You just need to go through the process. You're not really happy. You say you're going to leave, and then you're not going to leave, and then you're going to leave, and you're not. And you're vacillating. And that, first of all, forgive yourself, okay? Because these things are, you know, so hard when it's dealing with anything that you actually really want to be in, you know? So that can actually go for a job where you're still staying at a job and you're taking the nonsense. You really are. You're staying in that friendship that you're really being mistreated. This could be a parent or a sibling or a child who's being just seriously disrespectful to you, and you just keep putting up with it, You keep saying, I'm not going to put up with it anymore, but you know, you do. It doesn't have to do with relationship. This part of the reading is going to have everything to do with love, relationship, for those of you in that space, okay? So this is a Whisper of Love Oracle, and then we're going to pull some heart and some island wellness. The heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. Okay. There's more going on than meets the eye. Let's see the love, the heart oracles. Let's see what we get for these. pull 3 of these, and then we'll pull 3 of the Island Time Wellness, and we'll pull some clarifiers. I feel like I keep getting those cards. Well, not keep. I got them for somebody else. Forget who. Forget who. Maybe Scorpio. So this first one says, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. This one is, life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You would be surprised where it leads. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not your mind, for the heart is the gateway to the soul. Yeah. These are very general. I always feel like oracles are very general. I've been saying that. Make my own oracle deck. I like to get into the nitty-gritty. Now, this tiny oracle deck has a lot more poignant information. Wedding rings, camera, separation. Okay. So you guys might be married. I mean, getting married. There's this idea of reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, making memories. And then we have separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. Okay. And, you know, the wedding rings doesn't have to be that you're literally married. It could be metaphorical, you know, where you guys are in that space of having that soul connection. Yeah, whatever that means. It certainly doesn't have to mean wedding. But it can be, so I have to say that. Definitely feeling this sense of vulnerability, though, absolutely. Things not being in a good space right now. Let's see what kind of messages we can get. All right, good. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, right? We need that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So you guys are coming from a space of really not really being able to tap fully into your intuition in the way that you would like to have. And the Queen of Pentacles just says that you were in a space of not feeling supported. I mean, really, mentally, emotionally, and physically, it was not there, and you were having a really hard time tapping into your intuition. Right? But then we have you evolving into the Empress energy, which is all about growth and expansion. And you're really tapping into your Empress energy, where the Empress is perpetually pregnant. She's the mother of the tarot, right? So she's always cultivating this idea of growth, expansion, and really following through and then doing it all over again. Really nice. And then we have a very passionate new stage here with the Page of Wands energy. I mean, this is very nice. Having to do with some sort of new cycle, passionate new beginning. But then you're in this space of, I don't know, should I take that path or that path? I don't know. You're going to be in a space here, Leo, of needing to decide between two paths. Should you stay or should you go? Or should you choose between two people? Or, I mean, there really doesn't have to even be another person involved in this. This could be, should I stay or should I go? Should I just go off on my own? Or should I actually start this new cycle? Because there is an offer of a new cycle here. But then we have the Death card. And the Death card is about an ending and a simultaneous new beginning. This is the card of Scorpio. It's regeneration, right? It's what we've been talking about. And the Eight of Swords is more positive in the reverse, because this is indicating that you're starting to come out of, like, the worst of it is behind you, right? But you're feeling this level of stress and this level of tension and anxiety because of somebody external to you. And really, at the end of the day, you're struggling to reason out. I mean, look, this is a very mental energy. She could get out of those swords and those lazy bandage wrappings if she wanted to. She has herself trapped there. And I feel like it's because you're remembering how unsupported you are and how not connected you are, and that you weren't included in things, and you felt like you were being dismissed within the relationship. And it just, the connection wasn't there in the way that you really wanted for yourself. Really. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, there is going to be a definitive ending, but you're still going to be hanging on to this idea that you didn't feel supported. That, yeah, I mean, here you are with the checklist card. They did A, B, and C, and I just can't have that, and I'm feeling restless, and I'm feeling disillusioned, and you're just not really getting to the underbelly of it, though, Leo. You got to dig to the underbelly. What about it hurt you? And then we have the Three of Swords. I mean, come on. There's a lot of pain here. There's a lot of pain on the Devil energy. Getting in touch with any sort of addiction, any past addiction, any sort of imbalanced behavior. This could have to do with substance, sex, food, drugs. Obviously, drugs are substance. So drugs, alcohol, food, money, shopping, sex. You know, somebody can be addicted to sex. Absolutely. Addicted to negative thinking. Addicted to fear-based thinking. You know, having to do with, because I always call the Devil energy is really the energy of imbalance and fill in the blank, right? So it's anything that's imbalanced. Isn't that what addiction is, right? But in the reverse, it's this coming out. It's coming to the forefront. It's coming to the forefront. Coming to the forefront. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, listen, I feel like the conversation is going to happen, Leo, and you're just going to get into the space of just, you know, really recognizing that in order for you to feel respected, in order for you to feel super comfortable in your own skin, and in order for you to feel victorious and really have passion for a relationship, this situation needs to go. There's been a lot of pain here. I mean, look, we have the card of pain along with the Tower reverse. And in the reverse, the Tower just means incredible pain, incredible bitterness, betrayal, incredible, fill it in. But this is the tearing down of something that at one time existed in a way that you really believed it would last. You did. But you've been hurt, and there is a betrayal here, and somebody is highly imbalanced, and it's creating a restlessness and a disillusionment in you. And then here you are as the Hangman. It's like you're pressing the pause button and you're just waiting. And you're just waiting for something to happen. But you know what? You have to understand that something is meant to be reborn on the other side of this. It doesn't have to be with this person, but something within you, tapping into this idea of love. And listen, I mean, you're going back to these. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. So make sure those memories are valuable and not anything where you're just, you know, really in this space of being treated not in the best way. And then life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. So you got to go with the flow. Let this go if it's not working in your life. And if you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind, for the heart is the gateway to the soul. And if you could do anything, what would it be? And you're saying, I would change my partner. Wish for something bigger and better than that that's going to serve you, because that's just not possible at all, right? I know it's if you can do anything, but that's just, think bigger than that in a way that's going to feed your soul. And that really should be what you're focusing your heart on, you know, because there was a lot of pain. And I know, guys, listen, you want to come after me in the comments, that's okay. It's like getting mad at a telephone for giving a message that you don't like. The cards come out as they do. I did pull the extra spread to try to get some resolution. And I do feel like you guys are going to end up being fine. You're going to end up being fine in whatever it is. But you're going through transformation, having to do with everything in your everyday. Guys, that's big. It's big. So I feel like there's career and there's relationship transformation going on for you guys. It's just the way the energies are right now, you know? It just is. It's going to pass. None of this is staying as it is. It's all going to pass and we're all going to end up in a better space. Leo, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.